These videos are brought to you by the Osceola Council on Aging, serving all generations, and Graduate Nutrition and Culinary Department at Keiser University. This is an example of a food box you would receive from your local food pantry. Chef is going to demonstrate how you can best maximize the ingredients and make some nutritious, tasty meals. We purchased 5 items that were not in the box: an onion, garlic, soy sauce, celery, and sesame seeds. These items were purchased for a little over $7. So now I'll turn it over to Chef.
Today we're going to go ahead and make a dessert, and you'll be happy and glad that you made this dessert because your kids are going to love it. And they're going to get a lot of nutrients from it. They're going to eat their fruits. They're also going to have grains and dairy. So that if it's missing in your diet, you put it in here, they're going to love it. You can actually add a little bit of ice cream to it. It's perfect. It's called a cobbler. It's a fruit cobbler. When you use all these ingredients here are in the box. So go ahead. We're going to start out by getting the fruits into a pan with juice and all. Everything included. So I have pineapple chunks with the juice. I have fruit cocktail. That has a lot of different things. There's a little bit of color in there, some cherries. So people eat by visual, so if you see some color in there, you're going to want to have some. So next is our pears. And we're going to turn this up a little higher. Allow this to come to a boil. Before you do that, since you notice that this is a lot of liquid and it's got a lot of sugar in it already, we don't need to add anything to this. This is just perfect the way it is. I'm going to cut up a little bit because you want to serve this with a spoon. The next thing I'll do, I'm using a pancake mix. This is going to be our top as well as our thickener. So I'm going to add our pancake mix in here just to thicken up what's in there, to give it a little bit of body, get a nice mouthfeel to the texture when you're eating it. Because part of flavor is texture, visual, and all the senses, all the 5 different senses that you have to make this dish a really nice dish. So we're waiting for it to come to a boil. We're gonna get a whisk. What chefs call this is a slurry because it's a thickener. A thickener is a slurry. There's multiple ways to thicken things up. I've seen some cultures use bread and just, cut it up in a blender with milk and use that to thicken like a gravy or pan dripping. So go ahead and put this here, and it's equal parts of water and the starch. Okay, and our starch happens to be our pancake mix. It's coming to a boil. Now, the key to this is don't put it in early. You want to wait until this boil because it's going to thicken almost instantaneously when it comes to a rolling boil, like a really high boil. So we can whisk this up a little bit. Okay, now it's coming to a rolling boil. We're going to go ahead and add our slurry, and all this is water and pancake mix. Add that right in there. And I don't want to put the whole thing in there yet because I want to see the consistency of this first, because it will thicken up instantly. So it's getting there, not totally cooked. All right, that's going to be beautiful. See how thick that is? So go ahead and turn this off. We're going to put it in our pan that we want to bake it in. So we're going to go ahead and add this to our pan. You can use a pie pan. You can use any kind of rectangle pan. That'd be great. So once we get all this in there, we're going to get the topping. We're going to bake it off, and it's going to come out beautiful, nice and brown, light brown. Depends on how dark you want it. You can leave it a little longer and get a little more color out of it. If you really want great color out of it, you can also use an egg wash, like an egg yolk with a little water. All right, so we're going to do the topping. Our topping will be consisting of our pancake mix. Okay, you want this to be thick enough so that it sticks to the top. Then we're going to add our oats. Okay, so this, as you can see, this is very nutritious, good for your heart. See, my wife hates vegetables. She doesn't eat vegetables, but she doesn't know she's eating vegetables when I make a stew or something. She thinks there's a lot of meat in there. She's eating tons of vegetables. When I put it in there, it's like 40-50% vegetables. She doesn't even know it, but she's getting good nutrition. So when you add this in there, they're gonna love it because it's giving it a nice texture. Okay, so we have that. We're gonna mix this up a little bit, and we're gonna add milk. And again, adding just a little bit, not too much, until we get the right consistency. And I'll show you what I mean, what consistency we're looking at here. And again, we know that pancake batter has sugar, it has salt, it has all these ingredients. We don't really need to add anything else. It's got a lot of flavor already. Let's go ahead and mix this up. Still a little bit dry. We want it to be a little bit more malleable or fluid, or be able to put it on top of this particular pan. Okay, it's almost there. And if you put too much, you can always add more pancake batter. Okay, now it looks like what I want. We'll put this right on top. And we'll pop it right in the oven. And I'm gonna do the magic of television. Pop this in the oven, and 1 second later, voila, it's done. Fruit cobbler with tons of nutrients in it. Get your fruit in there, get your grains in there, and it's delicious. We're gonna scoop this out in the dish and see what it looks like inside. There you go. And that's perfect with a nice vanilla ice cream on top.